It is another wonderful, great day to have you join me right here on Voice of the People's Sports Ride. My name is Kiziki. I'll be your host for now to run the show, and let's talk about sports. Yes, I want to say a whole lot of, let me say highlights on my head. I'm trying to reminisce on the show now. Happened yesterday for the UEFA Champions League lovers, and we did see great football. It was about Harry scoring with the head, Ericsson winning man of the match, Onana with a save. All of those guys did so well, immensely for themselves. Jude Bellingham scoring goal for Real Madrid, Rodrigo, all those guys. Ancelotti's team was okay. Napoli won the game without Victor Oseni. It was the Vichigras Kelia, Giacomo Raspadori, Labotka, all of those guys in the shows. And, it was just great to see. Also, Galatasaray lost at home in Turkey, but then you can't take away the panic or penalty. Wonderful one from Mauro Icardi, the Argentine player. But Harry Kane was shot out, Kingsley Coleman, all of these guys called. But let's quickly leave that and go back home, cut to the mass. I do this now. Talk about the Olympic, where Halima to Ayinde has expressed her disappointment after she was forced off to pull out of the Nigerian 2024 Olympic qualifier against Ethiopia due to injury. The Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) announced on Monday that Rosengard of Sweden star will no longer be part of the team that's really making wave to be playing in that Olympic game. Now, youngster Esther Oyinezide has already been called up as a replacement for the defensive midfielder. Ayinde took to her social media to express her feeling and sent best wishes to her teammates. Ayinde, we know her very well in Rosengard. Now, aside Ayinde, the throw of Oseni Hale, who plays for Benfica SR, Christo Chebi, Regina O2 have all been rolled out of the game due to injury. And also, moving on, 19 players have already been called up in the camp for Addis Ababa. Meanwhile, the Super Falcons had a first training session ahead of the game on Tuesday afternoon. Now, the return leg has been scheduled for MKO Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, on Tuesday, 31st October 2023, with the winner on aggregate to square up the winner of the Cameroon-Uganda fixture for a place in the final round of the qualification series. And that's for the Falcons. So, round the wild drum in the news as well. We want to know what comes to play for the ladies. You want to say the latest football is really coming strong every day. I mean, as every day goes by till date, we can say what we saw at the World Cup, where New Zealand, also Australia hosted, came together to make it an impact one, was nice to see. Now, for the Olympic, we are still hoping that Round the Wild Drum gets a better selection to see how this goes. Now, still on the local news, I want to say this sounds very funny, but true. Kano Pillars have been fined €1 million for their unruly behavior of their fans in Sunday match day 4 encounter against Rivers United. The Simons Agita supporters encroached the field of play in encounter played at the Sani Abacha Stadium. In another development, Heartland of Owerri were issued a stern warning to curb restive act for the supporters and advise organized reorientation for the supporters to inculcate in them the spirit of fair play. The Nigerian Premier Football League (NPFL) reached the respective decision conveyed in separate summary jurisdiction notices announcement on Monday. Now, moving on, Kano Pillars supporters were found to have jumped the barriers onto the field of play to celebrate their 93rd minute goal in the encounter. After revealing reports, for the match officials, the NPFL charged the club with a breach of Rule B13.18. The club was also consequently ordered to pay the fine within 14 days, and warned that failure to comply within the stipulated time would be considered a continuous breach of NPFL framework and rules. For Heartland, the NPFL in the memo with the heading Match Day 4 disturbances expressed reservation over the behavior of the fans in holding back of the players and officials at the stadium after the match. The Owerri-based club was also admonished to curb such behavior by organizing orientation workshop for the supporters on the spirit of fair play, best practices. Now, let me talk about this a little bit. Haven't played the league. I haven't played this game to a point, to an extent. I would say Kwara United will always be my alma mater. I'm not trying to be biased on the show now, but I've never supported Kano Pillars. Never. No, I'm not trying to chase as Kano Pillars right now. But while I was playing for Kwara United, I remember vividly well sometimes when we travel to Kano and we play games and we don't really get results. That's just what it is. But when you play in Kano is like a Turkey for me. When you play in Turkey, the noise is so much. There's always noise in Turkey. Now, when you go to Kano, you will understand that the northern part people have got love for the game. The passion is crazy. The turn-up is massive. So we saw that game, the shouts, the crowd, everybody was just all about the Kano Pillars. And then Rabiu Ali got to score in the 93rd minute. These guys couldn't hold themselves and they came out to, do this. But I just feel like the ultimatum given to them would be seen clearly and hopefully they get to resolve that quickly. But let's talk about tennis now, where world number 8, Karolina Muchova, has withdrawn from the WTA finals in Falcons due to a wrist, that was a right wrist injury, and will be replaced by the fourth alternate, Maria Sakkari of Greece. Tour officials said this on Tuesday. Czech Muchova, was the 8th player to qualify for the season-ending tournament after reaching the Cincinnati final and the U.S. Open semifinal round, losing to American Coco Gauff on both occasions. As a result, the 9th-ranked Sakkari will feature in the 3rd straight WTA finals at this year's event, which starts on Sunday after reaching semifinals a year ago. Now, away from tennis, come with me, let's talk about golf. PGA Tour players who fail to retain their full-time status for 2024 season will be grateful and granted full membership of the DP World Tour next year. It is a potential lifeline for those who are battling for playing status throughout the FedEx Cup fall and our 7th tournament cycle that followed on the Tour Championship. The number 50 after each league had their status secured for next year and cannot move up and down during the fall. Now, still on the world of golf, those who finished the 4 ranked in numbers, that's from 51 to 60, also retain their status and qualify for 2 signature events next year: the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am and the Genesis Invitation. The top 1 to 5 will be exempt into full field events, and then the Players Championship wide numbers from 1 to 6 to 150 will earn Corn Ferry status, that's like a Tour Ferry, and also conditional status of the PGA Tour next year. This we'll have to see to come to play now. They will also have additional playing opportunities on the European circuit with up to 5 golfers who finish between numbers of 1 to 6 to 200 on the PGA Tour eligible to play in each tournament. Now, PGA Tour players interested in the DP World Tour Championship will have until December 20 to join. That's for the membership, and that's just what it is. Now, if you talk about golf, you get to hear me say all on the par. Are you really a fan of golf? They say golf is for the big man. Now, there's an LRV golf. I like to say this all the time, and that's a PGA Tour. So growing up for me, I used to know the PGA Tour, but not until the Saudi-backed circuit came into the game. And I really invested the money well, and I could say investing the money rightly and wisely. So we've been seeing the LRV golf and also the PGA Tour. So it's just like a 2-ball game in the world of golf. But let's talk about the UEFA Champions League games that will play today, and also our news for Barcelona, who will be playing today against Shakhtar Donetsk. And they will play at home, but don't forget they are playing at the Olympic Company, not the Nou Camp like we know. Now, Barcelona cannot use their injury crisis and their upcoming league game against Real Madrid as an excuse for a poor performance in a midweek Champions League clash against Shakhtar Donetsk. And Xavi Hernandez's side won on Tuesday. Barcelona top Champions League Group H with 6 points after winning their first 2 games without conceding a goal. Now, Portugal's Porto are second with 3 points ahead of third place Shakhtar Donetsk on goal difference. And in La Liga champions, Barcelona are third in the standard, trailing leaders Real Madrid, and also second place Girona by 1 point despite their most comfortable position in their Champions League group. Xavi Hernandez said on Wednesday home clash with Shakhtar would be a very vital one, telling reporters the 3 points tomorrow, that's today, against Shakhtar are key for our objective. Barcelona are also grappling with injuries to several first-team players, the likes of Robert Lewandowski, Sergio Roberto, Jules Koundé, Frankie de Jong, and then Pedri. All of these guys would be missing today. But yes, do they have what it takes to win the game? Of course, yes, they have all it takes. Now, the midfield is also, there's a Romeo, there's a Gavi, and also the Elke Gundogan. That's the Ferran Torres up there. All of those guys can make the difference. Christensen, Alonso, and, the rest of those players. But let's talk about Manchester City, who have dedicated a training pitch to treble-winning captain Elke Gundogan, who now plies his trade with Barcelona. Gundogan left City for Barcelona after 7 years over the summer and become the latest City great to be bestowed a lasting tribute. The 33-year-old joins the likes of Yaya Toure and Joe Hart with pitches named after them on the training base. His little, title-winning goal against Aston Villa in the dramatic 3-2 final game that was back in 2022 has been depicted as the mosaic beside the pitch at the City Football Academy. Now, moving on, Vice Company, Sergio Aguero and David Silva have been immortalized with status after all 3 served a decade at the Etihad Stadium. The German international won 12 major trophies with the City side on the manager Pep Guardiola. Now, don't forget again in a hurry, before I move to the next phase and talk about Napoli, the Pet in the Pie, Elke Gundogan was the first signing Pep Guardiola did. And he made a move from Dortmund, and it felt like everything was done for him. And you can hear me sing his praise right now. He is a man who they would reckon with any time and day. He's a legacy man. And I will say, I think he's really been missed at City right now. It's not like a time to analyze, but if you talk about City game, you would understand the midfield. We have players who are called ball carriers, and we have those who can be the register. Now, our City does not have the man with the patience. That's what LK Gundogan do with Kevin De Bruyne. Now, there's Kevin De Bruyne, who is a ball carrier, and LK left the game. And when LK left, they got to sign Macho Kovacic, who is also a ball carrier. He's not the man with the patience. And also Kovacic was still there at the stand, Macho Nunes. So I could say that LK Gundogan is still really being missed, in Manchester City. But regardless, I'm liking the news, and the news is my friend. Now let's move on to talk about Napoli, who scored the second half goal through Giacomo Raspadori to snatch the 1-0 victory at Union Berlin in their Champions League Group C match on Tuesday, and stretched their opponent losing run to 9 straight games in our competition in a match that had only few highlights. The Germans had the better chance in the first half, but it was the move by Napoli. Vicegrana's Kelly at the Georgia International down the left at the side of the game, setting up Raspadori to fire the winner in the 65th minute. Napoli quarterfinalists last season were without injured top striker Victor Osimhen, and they also posed no real threat until Georgia International Vicegrana's Kelly move, which was their first chance inside the box. Real Madrid are top of the group on 9 points, with Napoli in second place on 6. Braga also are on 3 points, with struggling Union Berlin without a point in their first ever season in the competition. Moving on, Napoli scored the second half goal through Giacomo Raspadori to snatch the 1-0 victory at Union Berlin in their Champions League Group C match on Tuesday, and stretched their opponent losing run to 9 straight games in all competition in a match that had only few highlights, and that was great to see. But let me say, I think Rudy Garcia is one man I want to talk about a little bit now. Napoli feels like a team that is struggling a little bit. I understand what it takes when you have your manager, Luciano Spalletti, who has finally said he wanted to go on a sabbatical leave. I don't want to say he's calmed the team, but I think he left when ovation was so high, and he left the face of Napoli. And currently, as I talk to you now, he's now the manager of the Italian national team. That's the Rudy Garcia that made him move from Al Nassr. Now, they feel to be struggling because all of those players who won the Scudetto, for Napoli are players for Luciano Spalletti, not Rudy Garcia's players. So Rudy Garcia is managing the players he has on ground. Now, but I must say shout out to Napoli for getting the result right yesterday. Without Victor Osimhen, everybody felt like the goal would not come. But it's just what it is. When you, sometimes in life, you never know until you try. So that was a Giacomo Raspadori, who happens to be the man to replace Victor Osimhen. And Lobotka, and Gisa also out. There was a Zelinski. All of these guys merit. They did well for the Napoli side. Now let's talk about another champion side. Inter Milan took provisional lead, of Champions League Group D on Tuesday after winning a tough contest with Salzburg 2-1 at the packed San Siro. Great result. Goals from each half from Alexis Sanchez and Hakan Çalhanoğlu were enough for Inter Milan to move up to 7 points, 3 ahead of Real Sociedad, who are at the bottom side. Benfica later on Tuesday. Now Simone Inzaghi's side were good value for their win, but were made to sweat for 3 points as Salzburg caused the host problems, and we are briefly leveled when Israeli teenager Oscar Glong struck home a classy finish in the 57 minutes. A 4-point gap between Inter Milan right now and third place Salzburg. Missed qualification for the knockout stage is more likely regardless of how Sociedad do in Portugal. Now the two teams face off in Austria in a fortnight in the match, which will have a huge say on both teams' chances of reaching the last 16. And that's for Inter Milan and Salzburg. Great result, I must say. Now let's talk about one man, Harry Kane, who was on target for Bayern Munich as they defeated Galatasaray 3-1 in the UEFA Champions League clash with, Galatasaray in Turkey. And Harry Kane made a massive goal-scoring return. He will never skip scoring. He will never stop scoring, I beg your pardon. Harry Kane all the time. And Harry Kane scored, Jamal Musiala scored, and also Kingsley Coman opened the scoring. The win put the Bavarian in firm control of the Group A. Thomas Tuchel's side also extended their record win in the group stage to 16 games. Bayern Munich also have gone a record of 37 games unbeaten in the group stage. Kingsley Coman gave the Bundesliga champion the lead in the 8th minute. The host leveled on the half-hour mark through Mauro Icardi. That was a penalty. Wonderful one that was really taken under the time. And a penalty, and Cole chipped it down the middle for his 15th strike across all competitions this season. I would not pretend like I never saw this. I will talk about this. It's a goal, and it was a panicker, and that was from Mauro Icardi. I already know he knows it. Watch the penalty. Watch that on your screen. He just did that. But Harry Kane scored in the 73rd minute, and Jamal Musiala added another 6 minutes later to snap the opponent 23-match unbeaten run across all competition. Bayern Munich stayed on top of the group with 9 points. Galatasaray also occupying second place with 4 points. For Real Madrid, yesterday, 14-time champions Real Madrid, Rodrigo and Jude Bellingham got on the score sheet in each half to secure a 2-1 win over Sporting Braga in the Champions League Group C clash. On Tuesday, the Spanish giants dominated from the start and opened the scoring in the 16th minute with a close-range strike from Rodrigo and extended their lead in the 64th minute when Jude Bellingham slotted home a calling shot from inside the box. Braga forward Alvaro Jallo took the advantage of mistake by Real Madrid defense to narrow the deficit 2 minutes later at the strike from inside the area, but Real Madrid held on despite late pressure to secure their third win in 3 games. Real Madrid are currently top of the 9 points, with Napoli coming second, who won 1-0 at bottom side Union Berlin, with the German side yet to earn a point. And Braga are in third place on 3 points. Now, wrapping up the show in the Champions League time, Gabriel Martinelli for Arsenal. It was a Brazilian connection. Mikel Arteta and his boys are really doing well, I must say. Now, Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus scored either side of halftime as Arsenal completed a 2-1 Champions League victory at Sevilla on Tuesday, a hard-fought win that takes them to top of the Group B at the midway point of the pool stage. Martinelli raced clear from his own half to score the opener 4 minutes into the stoppage time at the end of the first period as he completed a lightning breaking from, that goal. Now, Gabriel Jesus was the man who I would give the man of the match if I'm to say at the time. You could see that again. That was going to be a replay on your screen now. That turning was great. The turning was something else to say. He added a second goal shortly after halftime. Sevilla offered a little in the first half, but were much improved by the break as the pulled the goal back when the man, the goal church headed home, but the equalizer then saw the desperately south side excluded them despite some misses. Now, Arsenal top the group with 6 points from their 3 games. Lens also comes second place with 5 points, followed by Sevilla and PSV Eindhoven with 2 each. Now, for Man United, wrapping up the show, Harry Maguire is Harry Maguire, I would say, he got me pausing on the show because he's a man who has gone through a whole lot of phase, and everybody has criticized Maguire, maybe including me as well. So, now Harry Maguire headed the second half goal, and goalkeeper Andre Onana saved the penalty deep in stoppage time to power Man United to a 1-0 victory over FC Copenhagen of Denmark on Tuesday with the first victory in the Champions League this season. It was a do or die for Man United yesterday. If they had lost that game, then I can't be singing their praise now. Back in the competition after a 1-year absence, manager Erik ten Hag's side moved into third place with the Group A after collecting the previous precious 3 points after 3 games. Bayern Munich also topped the group with 9 points after beating Galatasaray 3-1 earlier. The victory looked in doubt when Copenhagen Jordan Larsen stepped up in the spot from Scott McTominay attempted clearance and then caught Elias Achori in the head with a high boot in the 94th minute, but Andre Onana, watch that save again, please. Let's get in a replay. Andre Onana dived to his left to push the shot away before being mobbed by the teammate at the final way. So Maguire, who has been of the target, by fans abused in recent months, had the Old Trafford faithful on their feet when they broke the deadlock in the 72nd minute. Christian Eriksen long pass, and you could say that's a long ball into the area, finding the defender at the far post. It was all about Harry Maguire. But shout out to Manchester United for the results. It was okay to see Andre Onana, who also have been criticized, come back to life without penalty save at the down minute. But this is all. This is the size of the package I've got for you on the show. Hopefully, I will return on the TV for you. That's tomorrow. Happens to be a Thursday to give you the preview and a review, better word. And we'll see how it goes. It's a Thursday for the Europa League, but tonight continues the Champions League. Please get glued to your TV. It's a well-anticipated time. Don't miss a thing. I remain your host. My name is Kizzy K. This is the Sport Ride on Voice of the People TV. Stay safe. If you're not doing it right, you are definitely doing it wrong. Peace out.